Hello, and welcome to the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation Recycling Champion Award Winners webinar. My name is Liz DeWitt, and I am the President and CEO of the Florida Beverage Association, representing non-alcoholic beverages in the Sunshine State. FBA's members include Coca-Cola Beverages Florida, PepsiCo, and Keurig Dr. Pepper. As part of our ongoing commitment to reduce plastic waste, we've embarked on Every Bottle Back, a groundbreaking initiative to remind consumers that our bottles are 100% recyclable and are made to be remade. We're using less new plastic and investing in efforts to get our bottles back so we can make them into new bottles. I also have the honor to serve as the chair of the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation, a 501c3 organization that provides education and research on the benefits of recycling. Our members consist of top Florida companies and associations with a mission to educate policymakers, business leaders, and the public on the importance of recycling and how to recycle right. Over the past few years, we have named top companies and nonprofits as recycling champions. Last November, during Florida Recycles Day, we announced the 2024 Recycling Champions, and it is an impressive group. We are pleased to announce that the 2024 winners are as follows. Collier County's Preserve Our Paradise, Reduce, Reuse, and Recycle, a campaign focusing on protecting the natural beauty of Collier County through sustainable waste management practices. Coca-Cola Beverages Florida for its closed-loop recycling value assessment, in which Coke Florida implemented a recycling value assessment in collaboration with Circular Solution Advisors to divert waste from landfills and create a circular economy for materials. This occurred through work with the University of South Florida, the University of Central Florida, the University of Miami, Zoo Tampa, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Desert Wireless Recycling Incorporated. Through educational campaigns, community initiatives, and partnerships, Desert Wireless has recycled, repurposed, and reused over 500 tons of materials, which equates to roughly 4.5 million pieces of waste to help in keeping our landfills and waterways cleared of dangerous chemicals and hazardous waste. Goodwill Suncoast in Hillsborough County Solid Waste Management Donation Program. Select Hillsborough County Community Collection Centers provide a new opportunity through reuse by accepting items for donation via Goodwill Suncoast, saving resources and alleviating disposal capacity. Through this new program, residents can drop off their waste and donations at one convenient location. The University of South Florida Stavros Center's Sustainability Superheroes program. This project provides K-12 educators with the necessary tools to empower and teach students to use entrepreneurial thinking to find solutions to real-world current sustainability issues. You will hear from each winner today as they talk about their award-winning programs. At the end, you will be able to ask questions. Feel free to add your questions in the chat so that we can have our presenters address them. And we are so excited to have the Florida Department of Environmental Protection Recycling Recognition Award winners join us today. DEP's Chris Perry will be speaking about their award winners. We hope you will enjoy the informative presentations about diverse recycling efforts in communities across the Sunshine State. To learn more about how you can become a member of the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation, please visit flrecycling.org. And now enjoy the presentations.
Hello, my name is Chris Perry, and I'm the Outreach and Education Coordinator of the Recycling Program for the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. On behalf of the department, I'd like to welcome you to the Recycling Champion Award Winners webinar. The state of Florida has an aggressive recycling goal of 75%, set by the Florida legislature. The statewide overall rate, which includes renewable energy, is 49%. Today's program will highlight a few of our counties that have reached or exceeded the 75% recycling goal. They will be discussing how the recycling goal was reached, challenges in meeting the goal, and key takeaways. We hope today's highlights the importance of recycling and its contribution in meeting our statewide recycling goal. Again, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan Bartos, and I'm one of the recycling coordinators in Collier County. First off, I want to thank you guys so much for being here today. I'm with my colleague Keegan Giblin. She's also a recycling coordinator, and we're very excited to share with you the achievements and efforts of Collier County's recycling program.
It's an honor to be recognized for our work in recycling and sustainability, especially as we continue to focus on preserving our landfill airspace. So let's dive into how we're making a positive impact on the environment and our community here in Collier County.
All right, so to begin with, let me give you a brief overview of Collier County. We handle over 14 million residential curbside pickups every year. We also collect over 36,000 tons of single-stream recycling from our residents' homes annually. Our recycling initiative, branded as Preserve Our Paradise, reduce, reuse, and recycle. This aims to protect the natural beauty of Collier County. We've designed this campaign to engage not just residents, but visitors, businesses, and schools alike. Our recycling coordinators are active in the community, providing educational materials, hosting presentations, offering tours, and participating in local events to keep our message strong and clear.
Collier County is a popular tourist destination known for its pristine beaches, the Everglades, and natural resources. We knew we needed a campaign that resonated with everyone, residents and visitors alike. Our team created a unique, visually appealing branding. We also designed a range of promotional materials such as guidebooks, reusable bags, and food containers that help spread our message of reusing. In addition, we utilized local newspapers, radio, TV channels, and social media to maximize our reach and get the word out to as many people as possible. One of the key pillars of our campaign is education. We've taken a multifaceted approach using targeted campaigns, community events, and interactive presentations to make recycling something more than just a chore. It's now a core value of our community here in Collier County.
I want to discuss convenient recycling programs. Convenience is crucial when it comes to recycling, and we've made sure it's as easy as possible for residents to participate. Our curbside recycling services provide access to single-stream recycling for everyone. But for materials that can't go into the curbside carts, we've established several recycling drop-off centers throughout the county. These centers make sure all recyclable materials are collected and processed efficiently, which contributes to Collier County's high recycling rate. We also have our outreach materials available in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. This ensures that we're accessible to a wide range of residents. These materials are visually focused with minimal text, making them easy to understand for everyone.
Collier County has several convenient located recycling drop-off centers. These centers handle a wide range of materials that aren't accepted in curbside carts, such as household hazardous waste, batteries, paint, and electronics. Proper disposal of these items is crucial to keep our community safe. One of our standout programs is our foam recycling. By recycling bulky, non-biodegradable foam, we're reducing the amount of waste sent to the landfills and preserving our valuable landfill airspace.
Talk about environmental impacts. A significant focus of our program is ensuring that hazardous materials, such as batteries, are disposed of safely. And as we all know, that's a big issue within our industry right now. So through outreach efforts, we've educated the public about the fire dangers and environmental risk associated with improper battery disposal. We explain that batteries can be taken to one of our convenient drop-off locations for free and for safe disposal. So in addition to that, our recycling coordinators have created a reuse directory. This 4-page directory serves as an invaluable resource, guiding residents on where to donate reusable items instead of sending them to the landfill. By donating, residents can give items a second life, further conserving landfill airspace and promoting sustainability. Our solid waste team conducts regular compliance assistance verification inspections of local businesses to ensure they are managing hazardous waste properly, helping to protect public health and the environment.
This would be possible without our strong partnerships. Collier County works closely with local businesses, environmental organizations, schools, and government agencies to amplify our efforts and extend our impact. Our team is deeply involved in the community, attending events and providing hands-on education to hundreds of people each year. We also host neighborhood cleanup days across the county where residents can bring items not accepted in their curbside carts and dispose of them safely for free. We also encourage businesses to adopt sustainable practices through initiatives and recognition programs like our Waste Reduction Award program. Additionally, we create volunteer opportunities for residents to participate in recycling and cleanup efforts, further strengthening our community's involvement in preserving our paradise.
This campaign has laid a strong foundation for ongoing environmental education within Collier County. Our goal is to keep the principles of reducing, reusing, and recycling relevant for future generations. Education and awareness are crucial when it comes to addressing common recycling myths, such as the misconception that all plastics are recyclable or that items should be bagged before being placed in the bin. These myths can lead to contamination, lower recycling rates, and reduced lifespan for landfills. To combat this, we've launched our educational campaigns to provide clear and accurate information, ensuring that residents understand the do's and the don'ts of recycling. By empowering residents with the right knowledge, we're helping to improve recycling practices and make a real impact.
To measure the success of our program, we've set clear goals and established measurable metrics. We track recycling rates, curbside collection tonnage, and contamination rates to gauge our progress. In 2022, Collier County ranked second in the state for recycling, and in 2023, we ranked third, an incredible achievement considering Florida has 67 counties. To conclude, Collier County's Preserve Our Paradise, Reduce, Reuse, and Recycle campaign has played a significant role in inspiring recycling and waste reduction across the county. We are incredibly proud of our ranking as third in the state for recycling and remain committed to increasing awareness and improving recycling rates.
Very well said, Keegan. That's an ongoing mission for us, and we are very proud to be ranked third. But on another note, I want to thank the Recycling Partnership and everyone involved for allowing us to be a recycling champion. And I also want to acknowledge that everyone participating within our industry is truly changing the world for the better. So on behalf of everyone at Collier County, we thank you all.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of our Coke Florida family, we want to thank Kina and the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation team for this opportunity to be selected as a winner of this year's Recycling Champion Award for our partnership with Circular Solutions Advisors and their recycling value assessments with our key partners. The process for our partnership with Circular Solutions Advisors and the implementation of our closed-loop recycling value assessments is first to identify strategic partners of ours that have a commitment to sustainability and wanting to increase recycling. Once that's determined, our goal is to help them create a closed-loop recycling process for bottles and cans and ultimately for material streams that may be generated at the respective venue, and ensuring that these materials are all turned back into another sustainable product again, and inclusive of bottles and cans being turned back to new bottles and cans again. This is supposed to be supported in a 5-step process. First, we want to ensure that we provide our partners with beverage containers that are fully recyclable, whether that's in plastic, aluminum, or even in glass, and can be used to make new containers again. The second phase of this process is to conduct an audit of the respective venue's recycling process, review material management organizations that collect materials, and then determine where these materials are being taken, and ultimately, what are they destined to become. The third step in this process is to ensure that our partner venues are equipped with adequate recycling infrastructure, inclusive of bins that are labeled appropriately, reflecting in detail what should go in which container. The fourth step in this process is to implement inspirational recycling messaging that can easily be displayed on how to, what to, and where to recycle to encourage recycling and consumer engagement. The fifth step is to activate recycling, increase participation with consumers by way of recycling challenges, games, and competitions. Our reverse vending machines play a major role in helping to bring these consumer recycling experiences to life, which lead to an increased awareness of recycling commitments at each venue. And finally, once the recycling value assessment 5-step process has been completed, in conjunction with the venue tour, best practices are recommended and advised for a successful closed-loop economy for materials to be recovered. Once the recycling value assessment's recommended actions have been implemented, the partner is provided with clear understanding of materials being diverted from landfill, monetary savings that may be available, and carbon reduction impacts that are made through their recycling efforts. Since the start of the program early last year, we have worked with 5 partners to implement recycling value assessments, and we anticipate an even greater amount of partners to be involved in the program this year as well. Thank you, and please feel free to reach out with any questions.
Hello, my name is Danny Gallagher. I'm a project manager with the Hillsborough County Solid Waste Management Department and excited to talk today about our donation and waste diversion program we have with Goodwill. But first, I also want to thank the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation for honoring Goodwill and Hillsborough County as a Recycling Champion Award for 2024, and can't wait to get started. So just to give a quick background about Hillsborough County, we are located in West Central Florida. The city of Tampa is our largest city. We have over 1.5 million residents in the county. Hillsborough County government provides service to over 325,000 households in the unincorporated area. It's a lot of residents, over 400 new customers we receive every single month. And the waste we manage in 2023, almost all of it went to the landfill or combusted at our waste energy facility. Since about 2015, our waste to energy facility has been at capacity, meaning more trash is being generated than we can burn. Thus, more waste is sent to the landfill and consuming already limited space. So we were pressured to come up with new ways to recover and divert material from our disposal facilities. So the origin of our donation program started at our community collection centers. These are 5 drop-off locations scattered throughout the county that allow residents and our customers to bring waste that doesn't belong in their curbside roll cart or doesn't fit in their roll cart, which includes bulky waste, e-waste, batteries, paint, scrap metal, white goods, and household hazardous waste. We are noticing a lot of quality items were ending up at our disposal facilities for various reasons. Could be a relative passed away, could be that they're moving and don't want to take things with them. They have new stuff coming in and they want to get rid of the old stuff. And we figured someone has to be able to do something with these items. And so we contacted Goodwill Suncoast, our local Goodwill franchise, that was explaining they were receiving some similar challenges, but in reverse. They had residents who were donating items that weren't accepted or not in good quality, could be at the bottom of the box, and they're good people. They don't want to turn people away, but unfortunately that becomes a cost to them to have to dispose. And so we figured, let's say you put a trailer to receive donations at one of these sites. The resident checks in, our staff can QC what they are bringing in, and if it's accepted, they can point them to the Goodwill donation trailer, save us that disposal capacity, but Goodwill also has the ability to turn them away and say, actually, we don't take that, and hey, you're already at the dump site, you can dump it like you're going to anyway. And so it's a win-win for both parties. And that's why we set up a pilot at our South County solid waste facility, which is not our biggest CCC, but not our smallest by any means. This way we can work out some of the kinks and not overwhelm this trailer. And so you can see at the site that we have multiple services being offered. We have household hazardous waste on the second Saturday of every month. We have drop-off yard waste, transfer station, and the community collection center where residents come to bring all those items that I mentioned earlier. And the Goodwill staff actually pull the items out of the car. The resident doesn't have to get out, and they walk in the trailer, so no liability on their part, to receive the donations. Before I get ahead of myself, there's some things we had to consider before we just launched this program. We had some in-person and virtual meetings, which included a tour of the site that allowed us to actually figure out how is this going to work? Where's the trailer going to go? What are staff going to be doing? Where are they going to operate? And we wrote all this down in an executed agreement, which was no cost to either party and included a 1-year term for the pilot with an option to renew for 2 additional 1-year periods. We'll provided the list of items that they'd be willing to accept. We required as the county some things to report during each trailer swap as the trailer would fill up with donations. Once it was ready to be swapped out for the empty trailer, we would get the weight, the number of donors, and the number of donations that are provided during the month in between each swap. Safety and amenities included that Goodwill staff would wear a high visibility shirt or a shirt with their logo. We would also, as the county, provide a bathroom, break room, and outlet so they could charge their phones to be able to contact with their base. And we also required that the Goodwill trailer operate the same hours as our community collection centers, which is 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. A little more into how does it work. Goodwill accepts clothing, shoes, accessories, home decor items, kitchenwares, tools, toys, small furniture items, and small electronics that are still in good condition. They do not accept TVs, computer monitors, which Hillsborough County accepts part of our electronics recycling program. They also don't take mattresses, appliances, large furniture, adult bikes, broken or damaged items deemed not saleable. And this just goes for the donation program at our community collection center sites, not the stores themselves. To date, our program has had a tremendous amount of impact. Over 4,300 individual donors have been recorded. Over 153,000 items have been rescued from disposal, equating to over 176,000 pounds of material rescued from disposal at the waste management facility or landfill. And you can see the breakdown by our 2 community collection centers, which both have a donation trailer. Our pilot was doing so well that a year later, in August of 2023, we opened up a second donation trailer at our Hillsborough Heights site, which received about similar levels of participation from the community in terms of tonnage. And you can see it's also been doing very well. Some additional stats about the program. We receive about 36 donations per donor. You can imagine some residents bring in a bag of clothing or a box of shoes and DVDs and books, and the Goodwill staff will actually count every individual item. We receive about 106 donors a month, about 6,500 pounds of material a month, and about 6 to 7 donors per day. A snapshot in time of the entire program. In the beginning, we didn't do much advertising because we didn't want to overwhelm the program. Being a first-of-a-kind, one-of-a-kind program, we could not find any other examples of other municipalities doing something like this, or Goodwill in their research couldn't find another Goodwill doing something like this more specifically. And so after a while, around March 2023, we did a lot of TV in anticipation of Earth Day and county media to get people excited about the new program. We had some data to share. We wanted to tie it into the environmental awareness to save these resources from disposal and get people to start thinking about their throwaway living lifestyle. Then in August, we opened up the second site. We do a lot of media during the holidays and Earth Month to get people to think about the items that they're thinking about throwing away, to consider donating it to someone in need. And you can just see we've had tremendous success ever since. A new type of recording we requested from Goodwill was a donation composition of the items being donated. Goodwill breaks it down into 3 categories: soft line, which includes bedding, textiles, clothing; hard line, which is like wares, home items, decor; and then small furniture pieces as the 3rd category. And it's just interesting to see the amount of items that it's mostly clothing, as you can imagine, that Goodwill receives. And in the beginning, it was a bit of a mix of items, soft line, hard line, furniture. But as time has progressed and more residents are familiar with the program, clothing is the largest composition of the donations. Since the beginning, we've had a lot of media exposure, from local TV to county news pieces, what we call newsroom stories, and blog posts and social media. Multiple local magazines and industry magazines like Waste Advantage have picked up on this program and have interviewed us. And we've been featured in industry newsletters, at solid waste industry conferences. It's been tremendous, the amount of coverage that people have had interest in this, and residents love the program because it's convenient. It's a one-stop shop to donate, dump, recycle, all in one place, which seems to be what residents love the most about it. So where does the program go from here? Our current agreement is on its last renewal, which will end August 31st, 2025. And so we're working on a new agreement now that the pilot phase is over. We are currently expanding the program to a 3rd CCC, the Northwest CCC, which is our largest one, and so we'll definitely get the most donations likely. Hoping to analyze more data and measure impacts, because now that I have donation data, weight data, composition data of the donations, we can start looking into emissions and resources that are being saved, landfill space savings from this program, to celebrate it even more. And lastly, just to continue to report, inspire, and share this program with other municipalities that are interested in doing something like this. The Donation Waste Diversion Program has been tremendously successful. I love getting to share and talk about it. Thank you to Florida Recycling Partnership again for this amazing award, and for Goodwill being an amazing partner in this program. If anyone is interested in a copy of the agreement, or wants a tour of the site, or has other questions, feel free to contact me anytime. Thank you again, and hope you have a wonderful 2025. Thank you.
Sustainability Superheroes is a project that provides K-12 educators the necessary tools to empower and teach students about sustainability issues facing our planet every day. Funded by the Coca-Cola Foundation and Coca-Cola Beverages Florida, LLC, the Sustainability Superheroes Project is an initiative of the Gus A. Stavros Center for Free Enterprise and Economic Education at the University of South Florida College of Education. The Stavros Center's initiative offers lesson plans, workshops, and guest lecturers from business and industry leaders with years of knowledge and experience in sustainability and in environmental studies. So welcome, superhero trainers. Teachers prepare the future superheroes for the most important mission ever, saving the world. Our goal is to inspire students to become everyday superheroes and make a positive impact by incorporating sustainable practices into their daily lives. Students will one day become the driving force of the world we live in, and we need teachers, the superhero trainers, to pass their powers and guide them to the right destination, a sustainable planet. Children see things about how humans are damaging the earth, and they worry. Findings revealed that 82% of children expressed fear, sadness, and anger when discussing their feelings about environmental problems. A majority of children also shared apocalyptic and pessimistic feelings about the future state of the planet. These results suggest that many children are ecophobic, or they fear environmental problems, which scholars argue may have serious implications for children's participation in environmental stewardship and conservation efforts. Children try to make sense of the world, to connect their world to faraway worlds. It often doesn't succeed. Asking children to study ecological problems before they've developed the power of abstract thinking invites them to draw oversimplified conclusions. Curriculum that focuses on environmental problems is most successful when it focuses on local problems where kids can make a real difference. Sustainability Superheroes at the Gus Stavros Center for Economic Education connects educators with resources to help their students make a real difference by acting locally. Providing children with age-appropriate stories and activities empowers them and alleviates anxiety. Children can help their world in simple ways like composting and planting flowers to attract pollinators. The future of our economy is green. Our youth wants a greener and more sustainable future. A circular economy is the future. The transition to the circular economy is likely to move faster than previous transformations. It has political support. For example, the EU aims to transition to a circular economy to make Europe cleaner and more competitive. Also, unlike previous shifts, which often encountered public resistance, there's growing societal pressure for companies to become climate neutral. In the not too distant future, the circular economy will be the economy. Waste will become an asset, not a liability to be disposed of. Born Circular designs design their products for repairability, upgradability, reusability, ease of disassembly, reconditioning, and the recyclability of all components. Resource recovery focuses on the recovery of materials, energy, and resources from products at the end of use that are no longer functional in their current application. The circular economy has a direct economic interest in the extraction of all products of recoverable value. Their design focuses on making value recovery easy and effective. Their business model ensures that users are incentivized to return the products, for example, contractually or through deposits or in a product as service model. Our future demands sustainability. Young people value environmentally positive products and actions. Superheroes save the world. Our children are our future superheroes.
The goal of the USF Stavros Center's Sustainability Superheroes program
and a partnership with Coca-Cola Beverages Florida is really to bring K through 12 curriculum specifically focused on sustainability. It's really for us to help create the next level of literate environmental leaders for the state of Florida, and we're really thrilled in the impact that that has in our state by allowing teachers throughout the state of Florida to come to the classroom, be taught the curriculum, and then be able to take that back and teach it in their classrooms on a daily basis.
Sustainability Superheroes program started about 5 years ago through a grant from the Coca-Cola Foundation. They provided funding to develop and implement a program centered around sustainability and provide teachers with necessary resources and information around this topic. About 3 years ago, Coke Florida came in when that grant ended and continued the support of that grant and allowed us to grow our impact. So teachers really love the Sustainability Superheroes program. They are able to gain resources and knowledge in area of sustainability where they're constantly weaving that topic throughout their curriculum. Working with us in Coke Florida, we're able to provide resources to them that they can take and implement in their classroom the next day, the day after the workshop. Like for example, we did a workshop where they were able to receive rain barrels. The teachers loved those, took those into their classrooms and set them up in their classrooms, and then developed topics and teaching experiences around those.
I'm seeing children are exposed to the news and they hear, the sky is falling down, and it makes them feel helpless and kind of despair for the future. Rather than let kids feel that way, I want to teach teachers to teach kids that they are the superheroes, they are the future, they are the ones who are going to come up with solutions for these things. And it's possible to have a sustainable and good future. In 2019, when the Sustainability Superheroes started, I just started attending because it helped me grow as a teacher, but also it helped impact my kids as well.
The partnership with Coke Florida has really allowed us to take the Sustainability Superheroes program statewide, and has allowed us to go to certain parts of the state to provide resources to those teachers. And in many cases, working with Coke Florida was able to open the doors for us to come in to provide those programs.
So within the sustainability space, we're really focused in 4 areas: recycling, litter and waste reduction, resiliency, and water stewardship. And those are really important because it helps bring sustainability and execution of sustainability programs to our Florida communities where we live, work, and play each and every day.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation for hosting this event and for your proactive role in championing recycling efforts across our state. It's an honor to be here today and to share the story of Desert Wireless and the principles that have driven our business for nearly 2 decades. So Desert Wireless was founded in 2006. We believe that recycling is about more than just managing waste. It's about creating opportunities, building connections, and making a lasting impact. We recycle about 350,000 individual items, or over 100 tons of e-waste annually. We reuse and repurpose as much technology as we can to get our goods back into the community that we serve. Anything that cannot be repurposed is recycled with an R2V3 downstream partner. We generate about 15 pounds of used electronics per capita worldwide. Metals and minerals and e-waste can be indefinitely recycled, and this creates an opportunity for us to reuse these devices over several life cycles. And we are certified by Florida Department of Environmental Protection. And today we would like to share with you some of the core principles that have shaped our mission and vision over the years. These goals are deeply ingrained in our daily operations, and they form the foundation for how we approach the world of electronics recycling. Our first principle is to not only recycle, but repurpose and reuse as many electronics as possible to get equipment back into circulation, especially in underserved areas or communities. From the very beginning, Desert Wireless was built on the idea that recycling isn't just about breaking things down. It's about building things back up. Our mission goes beyond simply disposing of outdated or broken electronics. Instead, we look for opportunities to breathe new life into these items, ensuring that they find their way back to the people and places where they can make a meaningful difference. Being headquartered in a small town gives us a unique perspective on how interconnected our communities truly are. In smaller communities, people rely on one another, and we see firsthand how economic and social support can ripple outward and create a broader impact. This understanding informs our approach to recycling. We operate with the belief that nothing is ever truly disposable. Everything can have a second, third, or even fourth purpose if we're willing to think creatively. With this mindset, we've worked to fill communication gaps by providing affordable and repurposed technology to underserved communities. For instance, a donated smartphone that no longer meets a business's requirements may still function perfectly for a student who needs it for an online class or a senior citizen looking to stay connected with loved ones. Our second principle was to become certified by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and commit to keeping all of the e-waste we receive out of landfills. Recycling isn't just a service we provide, it's a responsibility that we take seriously. The recycling industry plays a critical role in protecting our environment, and at Desert Wireless we strive to exceed the standards set by the environmental regulations. Achieving certification from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection was a major milestone for us, but it's not where our efforts stop. Our commitment to environmental stewardship means consistently going above and beyond. We partner with R2V3 downstream vendors to ensure that every piece of unusable equipment we handle is properly recycled. These partnerships allow us to safely and effectively process e-waste, minimizing environmental harm and maximizing resource recovery. Staying at the forefront of the recycling industry requires vigilance and adaptability. Regulations are constantly evolving, and we're committed to staying ahead of the curve. Whether it's pursuing additional certifications, implementing new technologies, or updating our processes, we remain focused on improving how we manage e-waste and reducing the ecological footprint of electronics disposal. Our last goal and principle is to be the go-to recycler for all nonprofits and fundraising organizations because we believe in the missions they support. Nonprofits and recyclers have many similarities, especially in the fact that we both find value in what others overlook, whether it's a piece of outdated technology or a cause that struggles to gain attention. We understand the importance of seeing potential where others see waste. That's why supporting nonprofits has become a cornerstone of our business from the very beginning. Over the years, Desert Wireless has built strong relationships with organizations like the Salvation Army and Goodwill. These partnerships have been mutually beneficial, allowing us to provide nonprofits with affordable equipment while also creating opportunities for them to raise funds through recycling programs. By collecting and refurbishing donated electronics, we've been able to help nonprofits generate revenue to support their charitable initiatives. The impact of these partnerships goes beyond financial contributions. By working with nonprofits, we're able to extend the life cycle of electronics and ensure that they reach the people who need them the most. Whether it's a family in need of a computer for their child's education or an organization equipping its offices with donated devices. Our collaborations with nonprofits amplify the positive effects of recycling. Supporting nonprofits aligns with our values and reinforces our commitment to community service. We're proud of the role that we've played in helping these organizations achieve their missions, and we're excited to continue building on this legacy. As Desert Wireless enters into our 19th year of operation, we find ourselves reflecting on the progress we've made and looking ahead to the opportunities that lie before us. The world of electronic cycling is constantly evolving, and we're eager to embrace the challenges and possibilities that come with it. One area we're particularly excited about is expanding the scope of what we recycle. Technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace, and with it comes a growing variety of electronic waste. From wearable devices to smart home technology, the landscape of electronics is changing, and we're committed to staying ahead of the curve. By broadening the types of items we accept, we can continue to provide valuable services to our clients while reducing the environmental impact of emerging technologies. We're also focused on forging new partnerships and strengthening existing ones. Collaboration has always been at the heart of our business, and we believe that working together is the key to achieving greater impact. Whether it's teaming up with additional nonprofits, exploring opportunities with educational institutions, or building relationships with local governments, we're excited to see how these partnerships can drive innovation and create positive change. Finally, we're committed to continuing our education and staying informed about the latest development in recycling and environmental protection. As regulations and best practices evolve, so too will our processes. This commitment to continuous improvement ensures that we remain a trusted and reliable partner for our clients, our community, and the environment. So to wrap up, we would like to thank again the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation for bringing us together and for your dedication in advancing recycling initiatives in the state of Florida. At Desert Wireless, we're proud of the work that we've done over the past 19 years, and we're excited about the road ahead. Our goals of repurposing and reusing electronics, upholding the highest environmental standards, and supporting nonprofits have guided us on this journey, and they will continue to inspire us as we move forward. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar on Palm Beach County's recycling success. We'll start by looking at Palm Beach County's most recent recycling rates. So in 2023, we achieved an overall 84% recycling rate, which placed us first in the state for recycling. And that was broken down as 54% on the traditional recycling side, and we also received 30% in waste-to-energy recycling credits. In 2022, we achieved an 80% rate, and that was broken down as 51% traditional and 29% waste to energy. Our landfill diversion rates are also listed here, so as you can see, we were able to divert 81% of the material from the landfill in 2023 and 77% in 22. In Palm Beach County, we've had a dual-stream curbside recycling program in place since 1987. And what that means is that we have a blue bin and a yellow bin. The blue bin takes containers and the yellow takes fiber. So we ask our residents to help us to sort and separate the recyclables at the curb before they come to us for processing. We have one recovered materials processing facility where all the recyclables go. That is owned by the Solid Waste Authority, and it's operated under contract by Balcones Recycling. So once the materials are processed through the facility, we market them. And we actually have buyers from around the world who specifically request Palm Beach County material because it's known for being of such high quality, and that is a direct credit to our dual stream program. So we have a better quality of material coming out of the dual stream system. We also get a better value for those commodities because of that high quality. We're also able to move the materials through the system faster. We have long-term sales contracts for the paper, fiber, and we have monthly bids for the aluminum and plastics. This slide breaks down the traditional materials and the percentages. So the biggest takeaway from this slide really is the fact that most of what we process is actually construction and demolition debris, which you can see there at the bottom at 32%. In 2023, we processed almost 120,000 tons of blue and yellow bin material through our dual stream program. So that's broken down as you see here on the slide. Cardboard was about 57,000 tons, all the way down through aluminum at 2,000 tons. So digging into that construction and demolition debris a little bit further, you can see 96% of that material is recycled in the county. When it comes to vegetation, about 100% is recycled. And the Solid Waste Authority issues permits to private facilities to accept and process some of this waste for us, in addition to what we do ourselves on site. We also have about 280 drop-off locations throughout Palm Beach County for material. So this slide breaks down the numbers a little bit more on some of the things that we covered. We receive about 4 million tons of municipal solid waste each year that we process. We divert about 80% of that from the landfill. When it comes to the recycling, when a county achieves a 50% or greater traditional recycling rate, they then become eligible for bonus renewable energy credits. So because that did apply in our situation, we were able to get that 30%, which is broken down here, as you see, by 24% for the renewable energy tons and then the extra 6% bonus. And then you can see here, as I previously stated, we recycle about 96% of the construction and demolition debris and about 100% of the total yard waste. We also recover metal from the ash after it goes through the waste to energy facility. So as you can see, that was about 62,000 tons in 2023. And we also beneficially used some of the ash from the waste to energy facility in a landfill cell construction project that we were doing. This slide breaks down the operations and maintenance costs of the recovered materials processing facility. The biggest takeaway here is that it costs each household in the county just less than $4 per month for recycling. We have about $11 million per year in expenses to operate the facility, and there's not always revenue left over after we cover the operating costs. But when there is, we share 50% of that back with the 39 municipalities in the county. Since the inception of this program in 2010, we've shared more than $10 million back with the county's municipalities, and they're able to use that money as they see fit. I will say that there was no revenue share at all in 2023, but we did have our first revenue share since mid-2022 in the fourth quarter of FY24. When it comes to the operations and maintenance of our recycled materials processing facility, there are some key performance measures that the contractor Balcones is required to meet. So the facility is designed to operate at these levels here: 15 tons per hour for commercial fiber, 20 tons per hour for containers, and 30 for residential fiber. And the material specifications, or in other words, the quality that they're required to maintain, are also listed here. So as you can see, these are pretty low contamination rates. And overall, we generally have less than a 10% contamination rate in our system. We touched a little bit on marketing the materials that are processed through the RUMF, so we'll look at that a little bit more in depth. When it comes to the fiber, again, we have those long-term sales contracts in place, and those are currently with Pratt, Starelli, Sarge, and Big Bear. For most of the blue bin materials, the one exception being glass, so for plastics, aseptic, aluminum, etc., we have those monthly bids that take place. For the glass, what we do is we don't actually sell that. We give that away to Strategic Materials. They pick that up and they make it into fiberglass and other glass type products. We have a robust public education, outreach, and marketing effort at the authority with an entire department that's dedicated to this function. We spend about $2 million annually on these activities. We have a Recycle Right campaign that's been in place for a while that's been successful. So that's cohesive messaging all throughout the county. And when it comes to our advertising, we advertise pretty much everywhere, all traditional and non-traditional forms, as you can see here: TV, radio, print, digital, billboards, bus shelters, stadiums, even vehicle wraps. Promotional materials, we produce quite a bit of those each year so that we can give those out to the public to remind them how to be recycling right. Our magnet cards, for example, have on them the blue bin and yellow bin and what goes into each material, so people can put those right on the refrigerator, right next to their recycling bags, and hopefully recycle right every day. So we'll break down that $2.3 million cost here in this slide. As you can see, we have about $1.6 million in personnel each year. We dedicate almost $500,000 to the advertising. We have Recycle Right sponsorships that we do, where any event taking place in the county can contact us, and we'll ensure that we have recycling in place at their event. And then we have materials costs, of course, associated with all of our other programs. So you can see how those materials and supplies are broken down here. And we'll look at some of this a little bit closer in another slide. In this picture here, you can see the types of materials that we typically procure to promote recycling throughout the county. When it comes to events, that's another major way that we get the messaging out there. We did 65 total events in 2023. That's broken down with the events that we ourselves host, which is only 2 per year: our America Recycles Day event and our annual 5K run and walk. But we also have those Recycle Right sponsorship events that I mentioned. We also are at all types of community events throughout the county each year. We also do school and community education programs. We reach about 10,000 people each year. We are in the schools from kindergarten through 2nd grade, and then 3rd grade through high school. The kids come to us on site so they can see our facilities in person. We also have commercial and public recycling containers placed throughout the county. And we also have the Recycle Coach app connected to our website, so people can very simply put in a material and plug in whether or not it's recyclable, and if it is, whether it goes in the blue or the yellow bin. And here's a visual representation of our cohesive campaign branding. So as you can see, everything generally has the same look and feel across all outlets when we're getting the messaging out there. So when it comes to our messaging, we have two primary subject areas that we focus on that we deem to be the most important of everything that we have to say. So that is recycling and also lithium batteries. We really want people to understand that those are a fire hazard and they have to be disposed of responsibly. We also have some secondary areas of messaging, which is with household hazardous waste disposal, annual events, and our education programs. So when it comes to the recycling messaging, the goal really is just to let people know how to recycle right every day to prolong the life of the landfill. That's the messaging we want to drive home, that by recycling, they're helping to make sure that we can make that landfill last as long as possible. So our focus when it comes to the messaging for recycling is on one material at a time, and we change that material out each month. So for example, the entire month of November, we're telling people that drink boxes go into the blue bin. The entire month of December, we're telling people that cardboard goes into the yellow bin. Lastly, we'll cover some of the initiatives that we have. So one of those is our Plastic Bag Exchange 2 program. The goal of this program is to get people to keep those single-use plastic bags out of the recycling stream. They are not recyclable in our dual stream system. So what we've done is we branded 2 bags, one yellow, one blue. We give those out to residents and we encourage them to keep those in their kitchen and sort and separate their recyclables into those and then go dump those into their curbside bins rather than sorting and separating their recyclables in the plastic bags and then throwing everything into the bin. Resource Depot is one of our community partners that we have a long-standing relationship with. We actually support them each year through a grant, and then some of our staff sit on their board as non-voting members to help advise them and serve as subject matter experts. So they cover our second R and our 4 Rs: reduce, reuse, recycle, and rethink your waste. We also have a recycled paint program, Paint Your Heart Out, where we collect through our home chemical and recycling centers about 10,000 gallons of paint each year, and then paint the homes of those in need in our community. Everyone's probably pretty familiar with Adopt a Spot. We have one of those programs that we've had in place since 1999, and we conduct about 2 cleanup projects each year through that. We also manage the Keep America Beautiful affiliate, which is Keep Palm Beach County Beautiful. And that's all we have to present. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope you have a great day.
Hi, everybody. My name's Keena Corey, and I'm the Executive Director for the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation. Thanks for joining us today. We will have this whole presentation up on our website probably later this week, if not the beginning of next week. But I have a couple of questions that I'd like to ask some of our panelists today. So I'm going to start with Jonathan in Collier County. You talked about foam recycling. Who's your foam recycler, and how did you get started in that?
So that actually started right before I had started working here. It was through a grant, and I can't think off the top of my head right now what the actual company's called. They've been to the RFTs in the SWANAs, but how we got started for that program was kind of doing the research and realizing, like, that foam doesn't necessarily like biodegrade as fast as pretty much any other material. From my industry and like university knowledge, at one point it was like 100 years it would take foam to biodegrade, and now they're estimated in that it's hundreds of years, and it takes up landfill airspace, it takes up space within the dumpsters. So we went through, I believe it's called Foam Cycle, and I can always figure out the contact information on how to get any sort of county or organization set up within that. But yeah, it was through Foam Cycle, and then I believe they linked us up with a vendor that turns the foam after it's densified into like picture frames and baseboards and even like surfboards. But that's one of the materials that it's bad for landfills. And obviously it's lightweight, so it's bad for the environment because it could, blow around pretty easily, end up in, beaches, lakes, rivers, etc. But it also takes up a lot of room in recycling containers and dumpsters. We don't accept the foam within our curbside recycling, but we offer within our 4 recycling drop-off centers, we offer disposal there, and it's free. we accept it. It's kind of time consuming to densify it, but I personally, as well as all of my colleagues, believe it's an important part of our industry. It's an important part to like the planet that we need to get it like a handle on that. So that's kind of what initiated that type of program. It did start like right as I was getting hired, so I didn't really get to oversee the grant process or exactly what went on with it. But I know it was Foam Cycle that gave us the densifier. So that's as much information that I know about that on like the back end, but I can figure out all the other information for whoever has questions or anything about it.
Perfect. And batteries, we talked about the disposal of batteries and trying to keep people from putting them in their garbage can or their recycling bin. Unfortunately, one of our members, News Cycle, actually had a fire
Okay.
in their facility right after Christmas. So they're shut down. So that's kind of the sad news. But I see that you've got some flyers and information that you're stressing to
Yeah.
your members as well as Palm Beach County.
Yeah, so we we obviously kind of target on what, is the biggest issue within, our, waste reduction, recycling, hazardous material industry. Plastic bags was always like a big campaign type of thing for the past couple of years, and then batteries is an ever-growing issue now. So that's one of like the top, situations that we need to figure out. So we implemented sort of like this whole battery campaign where we made like, a battery disposal directory. So if I'm ever going out anywhere, I have this with me, all of our recycling specialists, and it's even online. There's QR codes linked to it, but it shows people, like who will, take transportation batteries, who's a contracted battery hauler, what to do with your household batteries, what to do with your like electronic recycling companies that might be accepting a laptop that has a battery in it. We wanted to make a guide that lets everyone know, whether it's a business or a resident, where to properly dispose of it, because within the future and technology that's going on, I mean, this is going to be just a bigger and bigger issue. I know FDP is doing a lot when it comes to the vapes and stuff like that. There's a lot of organizations all coming together to try to get like a grasp on this. So we, always like to stay kind of a little ahead of the game. We haven't had too many fires, but it did increase in the past couple of years. And that's when we kind of were like, all right, well, let's look into, what can we do? What type of marketing, what type of strategies can we do to just kind of, dispose of this properly, get the residents, get the businesses to bring us the batteries so that way we can dispose of them properly, prevent fires, prevent any sort of, health risks that would come to just the community in general or employees as well. So we're on top of that constantly. That's something that, weekly we're on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Chris Perry, remind me the name of your battery is it Take Charge Florida?
Yes, Take Charge Florida is the name of the battery campaign. The overall tagline, which is Be Battery Smart, just looks to really engage the public and help everybody to learn about safe practices as far as disposing of batteries responsibly. So I really encourage anybody. I put the link. I actually only went out to the panelists, so I'll be sure to send it back out to everyone so they can take a look at that. But it just really is out there to help people protect themselves, their family, their home, property, and the environment. Just really from use to storage to disposal. It's really a great campaign. So I encourage you. We also we'll allow counties and municipalities to customize the campaign as well. So there's an area where you can put your logo on it, adopt it. We really want to promote that to our local communities and municipalities. So if you are interested in learning more about it, please let me know, or just go to the link that I've put in the chat and find out more.
Perfect. Thank you. So Hillsborough County and Goodwill. I mean, what a great partnership that is. And I mean, thinking outside the box for sure. I love your slide that you had on there, things to consider. That's great. And so I'm glad that's going to be up on our website to help share. So Danny, first with you, are there any other tips that you would say to another county that might want to duplicate this program that you would give them?
Yeah, I've had some discussions with other counties and they love the idea. It's just kind of what works for them. Like we're very in a privileged position having these community collection centers that residents are familiar with. It makes it more convenient having that one-stop shop because they're already coming there, they're familiar with it to bring their waste for batteries and paints, electronics, scrap metal, all that stuff. And now they can just get another service. I've spoken with some other counties and that maybe just doing more like donation drop-off days, events styled at it. We're grateful also having the scale houses, so we get the weights, we get that data as well. And so whatever works for them. Goodwill has honestly been phenomenal. This is not possible without Goodwill. They're phenomenal partners. I mean, they're great. Like when a resident, because these sites are a little confusing. So it's like, wait, which bucket was the electronics or scrap metal? The Goodwill staff will go, oh, it's right there. So they're just great too. They got the tax receipts right there to give them if they're donating. So they've just been phenomenal partners as well.
Wonderful. Now, Ken, as on the other side of the coin, are there any tips that you'd like to give another local government that would say this would make it even better than what you have?
Well, I think we did have, obviously, anytime you start something new like this, you have learnings. And probably one of the biggest learnings that we had is the training piece for our site associates. When we first started, they didn't really truly understand the difference between like what goes to our retail sales floor and maybe what goes to our outlet. So we did have to or what maybe would go to our salvage market. So we did have to make sure that they were, that they were trained properly on the products that we want to be able to send right to our retail sales floor. And that helped tremendously. The other piece of it is that this kind of opened the door to donors that really didn't, in a lot of cases, didn't understand what Goodwill does, hadn't donated to Goodwill before. So the training for our associates to kind of be able to let those donors know all of the good things, all of the mission services that we offer, as a not-for-profit organization that truly helps our community. That is a big piece of it too. And so I think we're seeing more than just the numbers that we're collecting at these sites. I think it's huge for our Goodwill brand. We're expanding our Goodwill brand in areas that we hadn't had the opportunity to expand our brand before. So yeah, just the marketing, the brand recognition, the media coverage, as well as we're making money for our mission as well, has been a very positive.
Perfect. Thanks, Ken. So Peter, I love the superheroes, the sustainability super heroes program that you have, and you said that now you've been able to expand it to more statewide. Are you covering the whole state, or are there just pockets that you're working with right now?
We have been
how you're expanding.
Yes, so we've been to Jacksonville, Miami, Broward, Orlando, here on the West Coast as well. So in the major areas in the state, we haven't been to the Panhandle. We usually try to do one a semester outside of the area of our service area. So we over the last couple of years we've hit the major areas, and we'll be back.
That's great. And how long is the program for the teacher?
So our workshops are 3 hours. They run from 5:30 to 8:30, or depending on the district and the time. And we do that because we also offer professional development credit, and that's the minimum time required to qualify for that. So when the teachers come to the workshops, they get obviously a ton of resources. They get dinner, parking if they need it, and they are able to apply their participation to their professional development requirements. So
that's great. And you do this like once a semester, you said?
So we have superheroes. We have at least 2 to 3 locally here in the Tampa Bay area that we have on the center. We go outside of the Tampa Bay area at least once a semester. Last fall we were in Orange County and over in Orlando. So we'll have at least 3 superhero workshops a semester. 2 in Tampa to service. I mean, we service 6-7 counties here in our area, so we'll pull teachers from all of those counties, and then we'll go to once a semester we'll go out of the districts here and go into different parts of the state.
That's wonderful. And remind me again, the grades, it's like.
So we cover everything. We cover, K through 12.
Okay.
We provide resources that are grade appropriate. So in our workshops, we'll have, high school, middle school, and elementary school, and everybody will walk away with something that they can use in their classroom for their grade level. All of our workshops are done by teachers for teachers. So they know what they need to address to tie everything to the standards as well.
That's great. Does anybody else have any other questions for our panelists? Does our panelists have another question for another panelist? Well, if not, we can go ahead and start wrapping up. Again, on behalf of the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation, we want to thank you and congratulations again on winning your award. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope it's in a nice little display spot for you. We're excited, and we'll continue to do our award programs as well. So let us know if you have anything new that's coming up as well. And then congratulations too to Florida Department of Environmental Protection on your recycling recognition awards. You had Palm Beach Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, Baker County, and Collier County. We will have these up on our website, and so that you can point people to it to enjoy it as well. I thought all the presentations were great. I really learned a lot listening to all of you. And so we just want to thank you very much and hope that you enjoy your day. Take care.